Hey fam, you're listening to Becoming You, the podcast for adults figuring it out. Now let's get into it. I'm an adult. What am I supposed to do? So, looking at these four phases of your life: primary school phase, the secondary school phase, the uni phase, and post uni. So, which phase was the best and which was the most chaotic?
For me, it has to be the primary school phase because,
Mm-hmm.
I still had people thinking for me. All I just needed to do was go to school, get relax.
Exactly.
So that was really the best. That has to be the best for me. That has to be the best. And the most chaotic has to be the post uni, the post uni life because I feel like in uni I still had that any small thing, I'll always call my daddy and he will still. But you see, the
Yes.
moment
Mm-hmm.
I finished university, it's like that man was waiting for me to finish university and just be like, okay, you are done. You are no longer
Mm-hmm.
my business. Like, it got to a point
Exactly.
I had to be asking that, I don't
Are
understand. Are
you
you still my
sure?
daddy? What's going
Are
on?
you sure you're my father?
What's going on? So, yeah, I started to face it after university. So that has to be the most chaotic because it was like I was learning to walk on my own for the first time. I had to figure out things by
Yes.
myself to learn from my own mistakes. I just had to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
At that point it was so clear that nobody is coming to save you. You have to figure. In fact, there are sometimes that
Exactly.
I would even
Mm-hmm.
call my big mommy and start ranting and ranting and ranting, and at the end of the day, she'll just be like, "Tolu, you are no longer a baby. Oh. You shouldn't be complaining about all these things. You should be able to figure it out and know what to do and know what to do."
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a baby. You guys should help me, please. I don't know what to do. So yeah, I have to
Exactly.
learn the hard way that okay, this is my reality. So is either I figure it out or I just remain at the back there, and that is not even an option. So yeah.
I really like your answer because I kind of feel like I lean towards the same direction. My best phase was primary school. I have just so many good memories from primary school. Just we had zero troubles. Then I think I was brilliant in primary school. I was a prefect, assistant head girl. I always talk about it because my secondary school phase actually shook me. I think that's the phase I actually consider my most chaotic though. Because can't call we started learning how to be independent
From
from
boarding
going
school,
to
yeah.
but it's just different like you explained. Post uni is like you have your full autonomy. If you any decision you make, you suffer the consequences alone. Shebi,
By
secondary school
yourself.
I had my parents saying, "Oh, you failed the maths, let's get you a maths lesson tutorial that
Math
you'll be taking
teacher,
with this teacher, maths
you
teacher
get,
to teach you."
they were
But
still helping out.
do you know the funny thing is I finished uni in 2020 during COVID. So it was that stay at home phase again. Had to be at home with my parents. No pocket money, no money for data, no money for anything. Hey, Pro Max. At that point, you just start brainstorming. How can I make money? How can I leave the
Yeah.
trenches now? Because
How
your
can
parents
I
are
help
telling you
myself?
how can I help myself? Because they're telling you with their actions, in fact, with their inactions, just the looks, everything, the comments that our work here is done, and you have to figure things out by yourself.
I'm like, I'm still your
Okay.
baby. Am I not your baby?
No,
Like
you're
that,
not. You're your husband's baby.
do you know
You're
that I
not.
still ask my daddy? He'll
Mhm.
be like, you're no longer my child, or do you know your surname has changed? I'm like,
For this episode of the pod, we'll be talking about how it is important for us to know how to make lemonades as adults because life will throw lemons at you for no reason. And adulting is really, really chaotic. It feels like there's always something happening, there's always a fire to put out. There's no, I feel like it's very hard for one to get to a moment in life where you're like, oh, I can rest, I have everything figured out.
actually,
Process of figuring things out is it's continuous, like it goes on and on and on. So like we'll be talking about how we've been able to just navigate situations, very difficult situations. And I have somebody very special on today's episode. Her name is Tolulope. When I was preparing to introduce you, I had Oshinaike in my head, but apparently it's not Oshinaike, it's Tolulope Komolafe. Welcome. Can you briefly just introduce yourself and talk about what you do?
okay. Well, my name is Tolulope Komolafe, and I currently work
Mm-hmm.
with an insurance company. I also bake cakes
Okay.
on the side and sell food stuff on the side.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working for in sales for 2 years now. That's my longest job. Ah, that's nice. For 2 years now, I've been working in the sales department.
Yeah.
Yes, and aside that, I love to read. I read novels. I watch movies from time to
Mm-hmm.
time. I also I'm
Mm-hmm.
also an indoor person. I stay indoor a lot. I stay indoor a lot. I love listening to music also. I think I like cooking a bit. I won't say I love it, but I like it a bit because it's part of um things we need to survive. So yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
cook a
Mm-hmm.
bit, I read, I watch movies. That's what I do with my free time basically. If I'm not selling
Yeah.
insurance, if I'm not baking or going to the markets to get food stuff for my customers, I'm reading a novel, I'm sleeping, I'm eating, or just watching a movie. That's basically it.
Oh, okay. It's really nice to catch up because I should have asked for this information prior to this moment so that I would know how to perfectly introduce you. But yeah, thank you for giving us that quick I think the first time we had a an interaction outside just normal Instagram comments was when I posted about a book and you were like, "Oh, you like this book" or something like that. Then you asked me to send you some fictional books that I had.
Yes,
So yeah,
yes.
I know that you have that interest. And talking about sales, how are you surviving? Because I'm
Mm.
currently job hunting and I've been seeing a lot of sales roles and I'm running, like I am running away from sales. Like I see sales and I'm like, I cannot. Some I would even cancel the
That's like
interview because
the
maybe out of sorry, what
Hey,
you were
network.
saying.
That's like the most common role now. Is everywhere.
It is
Every
everywhere.
organization. Every organization.
It is everywhere. There are times that out of being very desperate, I will apply for some jobs without even properly reading their description. Then when it's time for the interview, I'll be like, oh, let me even read about this thing and prepare for the interview. I'll just say things like sales,
Sales. They'll always find a way to
upselling.
attach. They'll always find a way to attach sales to every
Oh,
role. They'll always find a way to attach it. You cannot escape it.
I've been running. I feel like it's going to really affect my mental health. So you that you're currently in sales, you've survived it for 2 years. How?
Hey, my sister, is God though. That's all I can say. It's God because before I started this role, I used to run from sales job. And in fact,
Mm-hmm.
I don't apply to it. Anything sales, I always run. But when unemployment wants to choke somebody, sure you will not.
Yeah.
So I think my first job was not sales related. I worked as a cashier, kind of cashier, although they didn't call it cashier, they called it e-consultant agent. I was
Mm-hmm.
working in a general hospital where the one in charge of taking payments for the hospital. I did that for about
Mm-hmm.
10 months before I got a job. I worked in a bank as a contact center. But at the contact center, that period there, I was so lean
Are you
because
serious?
because I had to resume very early as 7 a.m. and it was a shift
Oh.
job. It was a shift job and then the distance. So I had to leave home as early as 5:30, it was not safe. So
Ah,
for security reasons, because
yeah.
everywhere is too dark, the fear of entering one chance. The time I resigned, when it dawned on me that I could not continue was during a night shift. We're just few. A colleague she did not come to work for like 2 days.
Uh-huh.
The reason why we even noticed was because she and another colleague, they used to stay in the same areas. That one said she
Okay.
called her the morning of the day she did not come. She asked her
Mm-hmm.
to wait for her at the bus stop, and that one was like she waited, she did not see her. She was trying her number, she did not pick, so she just had to start coming to work. So she didn't show up that day, she didn't show up the next. So our supervisor had to reach out to HR to get like a contact or relative contact. So it was
Mm-hmm.
when we were able to get a relative contact that we now got the news that she was actually attacked on her way to the bus stop. She was
Are
robbed and
you
she was beaten.
serious? Are you
So
serious?
we got the news during our night shifts or night shift.
Mm-hmm.
So when the supervisor broke the news to the rest of us, then one guy
Mm-hmm.
was like, happen, would they never rob for a year? And we're just like three or before that raised up our hands that would not be robbed. And I was like, no worry, in our breakfast, it go reach everybody. I was like, God forbid.
Hey!
Like, they saw it as a normal thing. I'm like, no, I
Yeah.
don't have to wait to lose something before leaving this place. So I
Yeah.
resigned. I was At first I was waiting to get something else before resigning, but at that moment my
Yeah.
security was not safe because if I was going from my mom's place, and I know that place is not safe because even my mom going to work, she has been attacked on two different occasions. She has entered one
Mm.
child, she has been robbed. So that fear of me leaving the house at that time, she was always just scared that Ọlọ́run
Yeah.
máa máa tẹ́ ẹ lọ, Ọlọ́run máa máa do you get? So
Yeah.
I just had to resign. When I told her that, Mommy, I want to resign. No, I'm not. every morning I'm leaving the house, I'm scared. And she was like, I didn't want to be the one to tell you to resign, but I'm
It's like, but
happy
you
that you have
should.
made that decision yourself. So that
Yeah.
was what made me resign. And I kept on applying for jobs, for other jobs. I was not getting, everything was sales, sales, and I was avoiding sales. So it got to a point I was like, let me even see how it goes. So that's when I got
Mm-hmm.
this one. And as God will have it, I've been here for 2 years. This is the longest I've worked in any organization since I started working. So yeah, it's safe to say I'm doing something good, right?
Yes, you're
That's how
definitely doing
the
something
the
good.
job, the thing is more of sales and all of that. And at first, when I even joined this organization, I had it at the back of my mind that let me keep applying because because of the perception I already had about sales, and I don't want the pressure of
Mm-hmm.
meeting up with target and all. I just took it as okay for the meantime. Let me just. For my sister, I kept on applying and applying and applying, and nothing was forthcoming. It got to
Ask
a
me
point I was like,
about
what?
it.
Let me just stay where I am. At least I'm doing something well. Yeah, they've not asked me to leave on their own.
So
I have
yeah.
time for all. And the thing about it again is giving me time for other things. So like, let me just build myself with what I have, and that's why
Mm-hmm.
I'm still here. Oh, and God is taking control of the rest. God is
See, in
just
fact,
doing it.
I totally understand you because, like, I started applying for jobs fully, I think around January, and I only got something in August, something that is not even permanent, that is temporary. So, I understand that pressure, like, to just pick something, and at the end of the day, we need money. We need money to survive, to pay our bills. Yeah, but that being said, how are you really, combining your job with your side hustle? You're a typical Nigerian youth. Like we don't do one thing. We don't stop at one thing. We just have like multiple things we're doing and we're trying to make money from. So combining all these things together, being a wife and everything, how have you been? And a sister, a big sis. How are you really? Like how are you? I don't want to hear fine. How are you?
We are surviving. Right. To be honest, I think I'm getting a hang of it. I'm finding a
Mhm.
balance somehow,
Mhm.
somehow. Before, it was just my 9 to 5, although I've been baking for a very long time, even before I entered the uni. But there was a
Mhm.
time that, like when I was working in Ekpe, I did not bake for like a year. Even when I was in Access Bank, I didn't, except for family occasion, maybe a niece or nephew was
Mhm.
celebrating the birthday, but I did not bake. I did not do it as a business for like 2 years because
Mhm.
I don't know. I think I got comfortable with where I was, but it now
Mhm.
got to a point that what was coming in was no longer enough. I mean, do you get the comfort was no longer comforting. I just had to figure
Yeah.
something else. So I had to
Mhm.
go and dust my pan. Oh. I went to
Mhm.
dust my pan and I
Mhm.
just started putting it out there again. And I really struggled in that phase, or I'm still struggling in that phase because it feels like I'm starting all over. You get
Yeah.
that? I have to start learning the new designs that are now in vogue, so
Mhm.
I can be on top of my game now, so that they won't be like, who is this old baker? This your designs are old and all of that. So I have to start taking and to now take a class, a course, like to just go for to brush. Meanwhile,
Upskill.
I did
Mhm.
that. I think I did that in 2020. I went for upskill because the first time I
Mhm.
learned how to bake was after secondary school. I
Oh,
didn't get
okay.
admission immediately, so instead of sitting at home, my dad just said, "Okay, you can either learn baking or tailoring. Which one do you want?" So I chose baking
Mhm.
then, and that was when I learned that. And thank God for that. It helped me in uni during my uni days, and after uni, I don't know, maybe I just felt too comfortable, too relaxed, and just focused on just the 9 to 5. And at a point, so I in 2020 I went for upskilling. So things were not that bad. Things were still very affordable.
Mhm.
But now I want to do upskilling. I'm hearing thousands and thousands. I'm like,
Are you serious?
ah.
Are you going to Instagram vendors?
I'm not a
Maybe you should.
beginner. I just want to touch up. Do you get? Well, no, no, not really. But before you can upskill, you have to. If I've watched this person, that this person has
Yeah.
what I want. Yes.
Yes.
So the people that I'm actually interested in learning from, because I've seen their work, I've seen their
Mhm.
customer base, and also I've just seen. I just love their work. But the
Mhm.
price is quite high. So then how am I learning? I'm learning from YouTube, and there are some very, very nice people that do tutorials on TikTok and Instagram. Do you get? So
Mm,
I'm able to pick a thing or two from them too, and I'm just learning everywhere, getting the
yeah.
knowledge everywhere I can. So that's how it has been going. And with that, with the 9 to 5, luckily for, because it's a marketing job now, you don't have to be
Mm-hmm.
in one place. You have to be everywhere because
Yeah.
clients will not
You
walk
have to
up to
sell.
you for, you
Mm-hmm.
have to, yes, so you have to go play. So that's also helping me. It's also giving me time for my business. I'm meeting people and
Oh, that's true. You can
just
even market two things. Market the insurance plan and market the
you
cake.
get it, you get
Mm-mm. Clock it.
it.
Add it to this. Clock it. Yeah,
Get me,
that's
yeah.
really
So
good.
that is also helping. That is also helping. I get to go to places, meet people, tell them what I do, introduce myself, which I just
Mm-hmm.
started doing recently. I used to struggle with approaching people. In fact,
Yeah.
all these things, I got to a point. I just like, enough is enough. Tolu, what's the worst that can happen? They
Yeah.
cannot beat you. Just have to. If they
Yeah.
are not interested, they will let you know they are not interested. Although some people
Yeah.
can be really mean and just work, but at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, it's not removing any skin from or be any flesh from your skin. So you just have to suck it out and put yourself out. So I just started approaching people. In fact, my first year at my job, I struggled a lot with sales because I was not talking to any. I would just sit
Mm-hmm.
down from morning to closing time and go. But the thing about my job is if you don't meet your targets, your salary will be slashed. So that alone was what, like, no, I had to talk to myself. I had to sit
Your
myself
comfort
down and
zone.
actually speak
Mm-hmm.
sense into this thing. People are doing it and they are doing well. They are seeing the results. It can't be
Yeah.
that. It can't be that
Bad.
bad. It can't be.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? Walk up to someone, let them know what you do. If they are interested, fine. If they are not interested, but if you don't actually walk up to them and tell them what you are doing, what you can offer them, how they can benefit from it, they will not know, and they will just be passing by you
Exactly.
every day, every day, every day. So I had to start doing that for myself, and
Exactly.
I'm seeing results gradually. It's not an overnight thing, so I'm seeing results
Yeah, of
gradually,
course.
gradually.
Of
Yeah,
course.
but
You
at
used
least I've left the phase of just sitting there in one place from morning till.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You've even touched on many things that I'm trying to take mental notes, but let me start from putting yourself out there. I feel like I'm currently at that phase where I'm telling myself that Bookie, enough is enough. And it relates with the aspect of putting myself online, putting myself out there online. Because I care a lot about
Mm,
what people have to say. I care a lot about the comments I get, how people like react to my post. So it holds me back in a way because I'm not doing as much. I'm not taking myself to certain platforms like Twitter because I don't want people to talk. I'm not, I'm just trying to be very calculative with what I say, how I say it, and I'm like, maybe you just need to like pipe down and do what you have to do to get the results you have to get.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, these people are not necessarily paying your bills. You know who you are. You know why you're saying certain things you're saying. It's not like you're trying to insult anybody or trying to just be unruly like online. You're trying to communicate in a certain way. So yeah, I'm at that phase where I'm telling myself like enough is enough. Next year, 2026, I have to just be out there as much as I can. Like people
As
need to
much
see
as
me,
they
people need to
can.
listen to the pod as well. Talking about your cakes. So Tolu makes really, really, really nice cakes, you guys.
Yes, I
Tolu makes
do.
nice.
I do.
She made a cake. She baked a cake for my mom's birthday, the 50th birthday, and they really, really liked it. Maybe we'll just drop your handle too on like in the podcast description. I just remember too that I've not really reminded people to like, share, subscribe, all those things. I normally leave it for the end of the podcast, but I was like, do people really listen to the end? Let me just be slotting it in here and there. So if you're listening to this
Yeah.
right now, subscribe to the
Please
YouTube
like,
channel.
subscribe,
Like
and
exactly.
share. Share with your
And
friends and
share.
family. They might learn a thing or two. You never can.
Exactly. Share with them. New episode of the pod drops every Thursday, and we just chat about things. And if you're listening on Spotify, so remember to rate us 5 star only. If you want to give us 4.5, just never mind. Just leave the pod alone. Thank
Five
you.
star only. I feel like
Five
everyone that
star.
listens to it to actually enjoy the pod and
Yeah.
also relate to it because it's very relatable.
Thank you. Thank you. Anthony is a huge fan of the pod as well. Hey.
Yes, so
So
he's doing something there, yeah.
oh, thank you. Okay, so talking about last week, did anything interesting happen? Something that just made you smile. That's like Is it last week? Not last week, this week, because we're still in the same week. Because I'm used to saying last week because I record normally on Sundays, but like today is a Saturday. So this week, did anything interesting happen? I get that adulting has been very stressful, but did anything really nice happen, or it was just there?
Well, every day is a new opportunity to be happy, to be grateful.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, I booked a transaction. I got a cake order.
Uh-uh.
Um,
These are nice things.
yeah, my sister completed her registration. Thank God. I think that
Oh,
phase is
thank
over
God.
because that registration
Mm-hmm.
process has been really stressful. So I'm just
Mm-hmm.
glad that that aspect is. My birthday is also coming up. Yes,
Oh, when's
so
your birthday?
5th of this.
Hey, December, baby. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
So yeah, yeah, nice things happened. I'm grateful.
Yeah, thank God. What happened? I think my week was it was just there, honestly. I missed my second swimming lesson because I just started learning how to swim. I did one class, just one, and I've not gone for like a second class. So yeah, I missed it. And I think this week, if I was feeling down, Thursday, Friday, we had kind of like holiday at work for Thanksgiving. So I was not really working and I felt overwhelmed because I felt like I had so many things to do, but I was not doing anything. I just wanted to sleep. And I was like, Dangote is not sleeping. People that have money are not sleeping. Are you sleeping? So yeah, I think my week was just there and I slept a lot. I slept a lot.
I think sometimes it's usually good to just rest. Maybe that's your body telling you that you need to rest. You need to rest.
Maybe. So funny thing is, I now remember good things happened. So I had two people reach out to me on Instagram. They reached out to come on the pod, and I'm like, you people can see me. You people can see the pod. So yeah, that was really nice. It gave me this feeling, and I got an email too from a professor that wants to talk to us about spirituality. So it was just nice seeing these people that have done like different work, saying, you know what, I want to come on your pod, and I felt seen. So yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
yes, those were really nice. Like I love getting messages like that. I remember the day I woke up to your message on Instagram, so I was like, God, this is the reason why I'm still moving. Like it felt really nice to see that someone
Yeah.
could see me and really like saw value in what I do. Okay, so the last time I saw you was in secondary school. If I'm not, no, did I see you recently? I
Yeah.
can't remember. I think during
Secondary
Neco.
school.
I think during
I did not
Neco.
do NEPCO. I did not do NEPCO.
Hey,
So it was during WAEC.
it was
So
during
it was during
my
WAEC.
because I think that
Yes.
that period, I think we interacted with each other a bit more with
Yes.
Wendy.
We were bunk mates. We were bunk mates, if you remember.
Oh, were we?
Yes. In yellow.
I know we were in Yellow House together, and we were both. Miss Okia was our guardian at the time,
Yes. Yes. We
and
were
you
bunk
know when
mates
I
at
was,
the time.
yeah, I know we interacted a bit more at some point too. So I wanted to ask you, like, I remembered one incident. I don't know if you were part of like that scandal, that Mrs. Ajayi time, that Mrs. Okia meets going missing from her food. Never ever forget. I was like, we have to touch on it on this part because I've not had the opportunity to talk about what happened with anybody like that was involved in that situation. Did Mrs. Ajayi slap you as well?
Yeah. Well, she slapped me at one point, but it was for a different reason. It was not for the missing.
She slapped me for the missing meat. Jesus. It was a terrible experience. I can never forget.
Mrs. Ajayi, a slap is one of a kind. She slapped me, but it was not for the missing.
Oh. Okay, so like I just wanted us to touch on that because it was one incident I remembered and I was like, some things we've done in the past.
Thank God.
Okay, so you know how you spoke about post uni being the toughest phase so far that you've had to like live as an adult. And one thing I've learned so far post uni is the art of like the need to continually reinvent myself because there's this
Yeah.
growth like happening and you have to just be ready to adapt to situations. You need to be ready to learn, you need to be ready to unlearn certain things as well. Although for you, I think you were in commercial class and somehow you are still doing something very accounting related, which
Mm-hmm.
I still see connection there. I was in arts class. I wanted to become a lawyer. I don't even know what I am now. I'll just say I'm a professional person because I've done different things, worked in different roles, had different titles, but I'm just like going here and there and there. So I wanted to ask you, yeah, when you graduated, what did you think your like when you graduated from university, what did you think your life would look like? But even though I didn't have that lofty idea, I mean, so I also had an idea of life after campus. I felt like by my calculations, I should have been married by now, have a property by now, just setting, in fact, maybe have a kid by now, because I didn't even know what I was thinking of in the first place. So I wanted to know if you too, you had that lofty idea of what life after uni should look like, and how you've come to terms with what it now looks like. Did that happen to you as well? Did you find yourself in that situation?
Yes, I did. Excuse me. I had planned for myself, like after school, go for NYC immediately. After
Mm-hmm.
NYC, I had a place that I wanted to serve for my NYC. I wanted to serve in
Mm-hmm.
an organization, a company, right? Then the plan was that after service, they will retain me. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
earning like 300 plus, get
Mm-hmm.
an apartment, you know, that kind of lifestyle now, save.
Yeah.
After school, COVID happened, so that was the first reality
That was
check.
the first reality
NY, we
check.
could not go for
COVID.
NYSC.
Yes.
We could not go for NYSC immediately because, of course, COVID. Everybody was at
Mm-hmm.
home. Thank God we were not depressed because a lot of people actually fell into depression during that COVID
In
because
that phase,
you
yes.
could not move, you could not do anything. Money was not coming in, but you had to keep spending because obviously you had to.
Yeah.
For someone like me, I
Mm-hmm.
was not earning, but I was not expected to be asking for money at that point because in the African parents
Mm-hmm.
we've seen you through school, so you should be able to take care of
Figure things
yourself now.
out.
But at that
Yeah.
moment, I could not even do anything because I could
Mm-hmm.
not apply for jobs because jobs were saying you have to have completed NYSC, and I've not gone for
Mm-hmm.
NYSC because of COVID. You get, so I was just stuck there, and I want there were so many things on social media, you make money, read this thing online, affiliate marketing, you don't have to go anywhere. I tried
Mm-hmm.
all that. I don't know, for some reason it did not work out for me because I didn't earn anything from it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I still see people that earn from it, and I'm wondering what did you people do that I did not do because I
Yeah.
joined all the groups and everything, but I still
Mm-hmm.
did not see anything. So in fact, that period was quite difficult. I
Yeah.
remember I transferred money from my mommy's account because I'll ask for money, they will not answer me. I said I transferred money from my accounts to my accounts without telling her. She later found out too because she
I
went to
imagine
a
how
bank.
frustrated you must have been to like have done that.
She
Mm-hmm.
went to a bank and she just told me that she went to a bank that she knows that I was the one that. I now know the funny part. Even at that I was not doing anything for money. My siblings too were disturbing me for money. So when she was asking me then that she went to her this, she requested for her statement and that I used her account, this, da, 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 da. I
Mm-hmm.
actually had to apologize. Like, at that point, there's no point hiding or running away. So I was not feeling bad that I shouldn't have even done this before. And thankfully, that phase ended and we were able to go for NYS, and then the struggle with job hunting started. Eventually, when I was paid my first alawi, not my first alawi, but I was paid that alawi, then I went to use it to learn
Mm-hmm.
this. I was actually applying for jobs. Then I noticed that all the job they were asking for you have to have knowledge in all these office tools, Microsoft
Mm-hmm.
tools, and I wasn't very familiar with them at that. One
Okay.
allowance that I received, then I went to use it to enroll. I enrolled for the course. So I did that for like 2 months just to have the knowledge so that I can be
Mm-hmm.
able to apply now. So I did that and I kept on applying. But even after doing that course and applying, I wasn't getting jobs. And I was still, and my village people after me, like, what's happening? Why am I not getting jobs? Before to then, I didn't know how difficult getting a job
Getting
was.
a job was, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
everyone thought once you are done with school now,
There'll be a
getting a
job
job
waiting
can be
for
that
you.
easy.
Yeah.
Do you get? So I think I had that
Mm-hmm.
mentality too. But I faced before it was one of my a family that just called me that, oh, there is an opening at this thing that am I interested? I said yes, I'm interested. I had to travel to Ekpe because that was where the job was. So
The job. Oh.
that was where I worked for 10 months. But Ekpe is this kind of environment. I feel like it's not for someone that is just starting up because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have any. I was working in the midst of everybody I was working with. They were way older than me. I was the
Oh.
youngest in friend, so it was just office. I'm sorry, office, home, office. I did not. I had limited access because I was staying with a relative. Do you get? That
Mhm.
was why I kept on applying. I just wanted to leave the environment of that. So that was when I now applied to and got the bank job that I left there.
Mhm.
That I now resigned again. After resigning from that one, I was
That's
jobless
when
for
you
like
had got
four,
to the
five
insurance.
months.
Uh-huh.
I was jobless for like 4, 5 months. I was regretting it. But
Exactly.
then I got this one and I'm still doing it.
Mhm.
And it got to a point this one was no longer enough. So I just had to go and dust my pan.
So, like, from everything you've shared, something that stayed consistent was your desire to like keep learning, keep growing. Like, you did not stop and just like wallow in the situation you found yourself in. You were looking for ways to upskill, to learn something new, to just move. And I feel like that's the most important thing. Like, we need to be resilient, and we also need to have that, that drive to just keep moving, because post uni will stress you, nothing will stress you out, but you have to like keep thinking of things to do. I have like kind of like a similar story as well. Although I think I did not fully get how difficult it is to get a job until this year. Because after uni, I was fortunate enough. I got into LASU. I served at LASU. So it was like there was just like something waiting. There was just always something waiting for me. But like this year, I realized that, okay, maybe it's not always going to be that way. You have to like search, you have to fight, you have to keep moving. And I think anyone listening to this now, I feel like that's just a big takeaway. So instead of you to just, stay in one corner, sulking, you can't find
Exactly.
a job, you can't do this. In fact, in COVID, during 2020, like COVID period, I went to learn how to make hair. I went to learn hairdressing. The skill actually helps me. It helps me at a point in my life where like I really needed to make money from something. And I just remember that she I learned how to make hair. Let me try getting paid. And the money helps me to like sustain myself during that period.
Yeah.
So it's really nice for us to like just do something, do something. And talking about paying bills and spending money, is there a particular bill that you paid like and it just shook you and you were like, ha, is this how I'll continue paying this money? Is it like maybe your rent or just something that you actually paid for and it was
Uh,
like, wow, is this
it's for me it was rent. It was rent because after there was a time that I now decided that okay, I think I
mm-hmm,
was already stable on my job then, and I was like, okay, now that I'm stable in my job, I want to experience living alone because for me, I never stayed alone. It was always
mm-hmm,
from one relative to the other. Either I'm at my mom's place, I'm at my family's place, and my auntie's place.
mm-hmm.
So I never had the opportunity to like stay by
Stay
myself.
alone. Yeah.
So I just wanted to do that for myself. So I decided to get an apartment too. Hey, Jesus Christ. House hunting is crazy. House
Yeah.
hunting is crazy.
I've heard tales, how sorting like tales and how crazy the Lagos real estate like sector is right now. Just overpriced the housing everywhere.
In fact, it is crazy. Then the agreement and commission. Then, but luckily for me, I got a place that was quite affordable for me at that. It
Mm-hmm.
was, and then living alone is not as easy as one imagines it to be.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
it was not as easy as one because at the end of the day, I already had this plan in my head that okay, I'm going to furnish my space to my taste. Get this
Mhm.
that, and after getting the place, I was like, I've gotten a place. What's the next step?
Your mindset will start like readjusting to the reality of things when you price cotton. Like when you
Mm.
hear the prices of cottons, of
Ah,
maybe
then
television, couch,
I'll now start
wardrobe.
convincing myself that it's not that important now.
Do I need
I
it?
can just find some.
Do I really need it?
I really need this. It's not
Yeah.
important, so I can survive without it.
See, ask me about it. I can relate like mad. At that
So
point,
yeah,
then.
that
Mhm.
happened, and then feeding too. When I was living with family now, my auntie can just
Mhm.
come and say, "Oh, this is what we are eating. Oh, just go and
Mhm.
get it done." But when I started staying alone, what am I bringing out from the freezer? Is it not when you keep something inside the freezer, you'll be able to bring
You
something
reach
out?
out to that, bro.
My sister, oh, I drank, I ate Indomie, I ate bread.
You spoke about how you like were job hunting for a very long period of time. During that phase, what was the craziest job that you considered, or maybe the craziest job opportunity you considered applying for? Mine was I tried applying for was it CEO of a company. Like I told you, then I was like, this does not. They cannot call me. I don't have the experience. I was like, let me apply. Who knows? Maybe they'll still give me the job. There's a time I did that, and there was a time I considered doing security as well. Small bookie like this. I considered it. And you know when you consider something and in the real sense you don't want to do it, you're like, God, please, like I don't want to ever do this. But in your mind, you're like, okay, if this is the only option I have left, maybe let's
Why
just do it
not?
and see.
Maybe it's
Why
not as
not?
bad as it is. Yeah.
You try to like convince yourself to just accept it as a reality that is just temporary. It's not something you have to do for a long period of time or forever. So yeah, I think the worst role I've ever considered is the security role. And maybe the would I say the best or the most unrealistic one is to be the CEO of a company. Like, you know, when you apply for something and you're laughing at yourself, wait, you're not yet serious with life. So you too, is there any job that you've applied for, you've considered and you're like, why did I do that?
Well, there was one. There was one. I was supposed to work in the airport, but the way they were selling that job to me, it sounded to me like something else. I went for
Mm-hmm.
the interview and the man was telling me, in fact, the moment a lady was
Mm-hmm.
already looking at me like, this your
This
wig.
was
Of all the applicants, I was the only dressed corporate. I wore my shoe, used my wig, a little bit of makeup
uh-huh.
I did. And I was seeing the other ladies with jeans and top. Ah, what's
What is
happening?
going on?
In fact, from the reception, the lady was looking and she came out. We all greeted her. She was not looking at me. She was like, this your wig, go. And she laughed.
Are you
Then
here
I
to
got
work?
in. When it was my turn, they started telling me that as at then they said the pay was it 30,000, and the man was like that. No, don't look at the pay. Don't consider the pay. You'll be
You
seeing a
should
lot of
so you
tips.
should consider what?
I should look at the tips that I'll meet a lot of people, because according to what they said, I'll have access business class and first class, people that are booking business class and first class tickets,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'll get a lot of tips from them. I'll meet so many big people
Mm-hmm.
that so I should not look at the salary. And in my head, and then he now made a statement. She was like a lady that they employed. She didn't use 2 months in the job because she met someone that took her away, this and that. So in my head, it felt like they were selling something else. The fact that they were
Yeah.
even looking for only ladies. And then before I went for the
Yeah.
interview, the person who gave me the interview, the link to the interview, she was like, she told my auntie then that like it's pretty ladies they employ you. That hope your sister is pretty. Send me her pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see her pictures.
Are they
So when I now
pimping?
got there, okay,
Mm-hmm.
when I now got there and started hearing that, it felt like they were selling something else. Are you sure I'm yet to work? Plus, how will you say I should take the job based on tips that I'll be getting? So
Tips
what if
that
I don't get tips?
you get make a life
It's not
decision as
everybody
very
that
like
walks
as
around
important
with
as
cash.
that. Now.
It's not right. So what if I don't get tips? What will happen to me at the end of this? When
Then
the
you get
30K does not
desperate.
even cover my transport.
Nah, that's really bad. That's
So that
that's
was that felt like. And to be honest, I actually considered it because when they were saying you will meet people, you this and but I remember I spoke to my
connection.
mom about it, and my mom was like, are you sure that's the kind of job you want to do? Tolu, and that job is not for you. Don't worry, God will provide your own job for you. That was what
Mm-hmm.
just because at that point I was so desperate. Let me just get something to do. Even
Something.
if it's sales girl. Even if it's sales girl, let me just get something doing. Like let
Mm-hmm.
me leave the house in the morning, come back in.
Yeah. So like I feel like we reconnected online via Instagram, right? And I've come across accounts of some of our other like Cancunians. And there was this particular person, a guy that I came across his account and I was like, whoa, what's this person doing? How did he manage to make so much money? And it just felt like this person had their life put together. And at that point, I started questioning my life decisions. I was like, okay, am I doing the right thing? Am I where I'm supposed to be? Okay, what's going on? So, like, have you felt that pressure, like that social media can sometimes impose on us? Have you felt pressured in a way, and how have you managed it so far?
Well, I feel it, to be honest. I still feel it, but what just tell myself we are not exposed to the same kind of opportunity. Do you
Well,
get? We
yeah.
did not grow up in the same kind of environment. So the
Mhm.
opportunity they have, I did not have that opportunity. So
Yeah.
if they are doing better than I am myself, like I should just try and build myself so I can provide that
Mhm.
kind of opportunity for my children. because
Yeah.
there are some people that they got exposed to the digital world from a very young age.
Yes.
Do you get?
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm just getting to discover that not every tech work is coding and that is not there. I'm just getting to learn about that. I'm just discovering a lot of things. Do you get? So I was not exposed to that opportunity early, unlike
Mhm.
some of my peers that were, in fact, from primary school self, they were already enrolled in coding. Do you know? So
Yes.
they were open to a wider range of opportunity that I wasn't. So
Yeah.
what I tell myself is, okay, since I know this now, I can just
Mhm.
learn. You can never stop learning if you are interested, and you never stop. See, there's one thing that I've learned, that your interest can change overnight. Tomorrow
Oh,
night, I
that
can
is that is the next question we're going to discuss. Honestly, I like that you touched on
decide.
that. Yes.
Your
Yes.
interest can change overnight. I was never interested in anything tech. So I don't know. I did not know how to use the system. But at a point in my life, I talked about during NYC, I was applying for
Mhm.
jobs, and I said that you had to like have knowledge in this computer skills and
Mhm.
all. Before then, I did not. I had a system, but all I used it to do was watch movies. That was
Mhm.
all I did with my system. I did, or maybe few times I during
Mhm.
project type my projects. So recently, I just picked up another interest in project management. I'm trying to get information
Oh,
on how
my
I can
sister.
do the course.
I started the course last week. Coursera Google Project Management course. I just started it. And I like how you said, yes, we need to understand first that okay, maybe you're where you are not because you're not good enough, not because you don't have the skills or you
Yeah,
cannot or you're unable to do it, but because you've not been exposed to that life, because you don't have the
exposed to,
exposure.
yeah,
And most times and I
yes,
liked that you touched on that, but at the same time we should not just stay boxed in that place like, oh, I did not know about it. I don't know how to do it. And just stay in that corner. We have to also try to know, like try to learn, try to catch up. I find people that are able to stay on one path and just follow through. They are very lucky. Like when you know on time what you want to do with your
what
life,
we
and
want.
it is very good. But then it is totally normal for you not to know. I mean, we are here,
Mm.
we are alive. We don't know what we are like.
That's
It's not like we don't have a
once there is
purpose. Do you get? It's not like you don't have a purpose. You have a purpose, but the way to get there can be blurry at times. It can be very confusing. And I
life.
feel like it's okay to try again. You try something else, you see that it's not working for you. You can always stop, try something else. We're not restricted to a particular field or a particular career path. So I'm really, really happy that you touched on that. Because the next question I wanted to ask you was, how do you know, like, at what point in your life did you realize that okay, it's okay to pivot, it's okay to change career? I think another thing that changed after uni is friendship dynamics. In uni, it is very easy to make friends. You make friends with your classmates, your classmates, you make friends with your hostel
Hostel,
mates. Yeah, so it's
yeah.
very easy. But post uni, not so easy. But are you still friends with like your uni friends?
Yeah, so I don't have any other friend.
Me too. I try to make one here and there after uni, but it's been very hard. It's been very hard. And I'm
Mm.
like,
It's not as
I,
easy as it was then.
yeah. And I'm even
And
like, we can't fight.
there are so many factors attached to that, because
Yeah.
unlike then, I feel like there was a lot of time, because
Yeah, we had time.
we were either in class together, we're either
Mm.
in hostel together. There are
Yeah,
so
we
many
we
things.
had common interest at the time. We were in common
Yeah,
spaces together. We had time to actually catch up, to talk. Yeah, yeah.
yes.
But now it's like you're hearing from your friend like once in a month, once in 2 weeks. Like
And
there's
now
just so
make
much
new
they can
friends.
do.
So now make new
Mm-hmm.
friends. There is no, should I say, there is no energy to now put in the efforts, because you can actually meet
Oh
someone
yeah.
today and you guys click
Mm-hmm.
and you guys talk. Once you leave that place, that you guys, before you know
That's
it,
it.
something
That's the
else has
end.
carried your attention. You have probably forgotten that,
Yeah.
oh, I have to check up on this ember too. And by the time you now remember, you now feel like, time has gone. Should I say, when there's a lot of time in between, you now start feeling somehow that, if I call this person now, does this person even still remember me? Do you
Would
get?
it make sense?
So
Yes, I can understand.
you just let it go like that. So that effort and time is the effort. I would say the effort and the time too, because you can actually
Yeah.
make time, but do you want to make the time? So the effort, it has to do with
Yeah. It has to do
effort. So
with
when you
that.
meet somebody today and you guys click, you have to like put in the effort to maintain
Mm-hmm.
that relationship that you guys.
Relationship. I
But
feel
when there are
like
so
there's
many other
even
things that you,
I feel like there's even this subtle like pride that stops us from making genuine connection. So, like for instance, you meet somebody at an event, you guys talk. The problem even starts from who gets to collect whose contacts. Because you talk to this
But
person, the conversation is nice. You're like, she will not ask for my number, ni. This will not ask for your number. So probably the person is thinking about the same thing. And some people will even be like, oh, give me your Instagram handle. And I really, really hate that. Like, why are you asking for my Instagram handle? Is it so you can profile me or gauge, like just try to see who I am or stuff like that? Like, I don't know. I have a thing against people who see you and meet you for the first time. And the first thing they're asking for is your Instagram handle.
I
Like, I
can't
find
do
it
it. Yeah.
offensive. I don't know. Personally, I find it offensive. So like the person asks for your number, then the next thing becomes who will text who first.
Who text
What if I
first?
say
Yeah.
hello? Yeah, what if they don't respond to me? What if like it's just so many like the mental game or the calculations is just so stressful. And you start thinking
Yes.
about it that is it even worth it? Is it worth the stress? Is it worth the effort? And the truth is we can't make new connections if we don't do the work. It can be humiliating, but maybe we have to do the work. It can be very
Yeah.
humiliating just and because at first the person might not really accept you, it might take a lot of work for you to get to that phase where the person accepts you and sees you as a friend. So, I feel like we've really had a really nice conversation that has been very interesting, if you ask me. So, I want to ask you some questions before we call it a day. So, it's just like this or that questions, and I want you to just like answer briefly, brief answers. So, the first this or that is 9 to 5 or freelancing life. Which one? This or that? Which one do you prefer?
Um,
Do you prefer?
can't I have both?
Should I tell you the advantages or the okay? So 9 to 5, you have stability.
Yes.
Your mind is not shaking too much. Your
You know
salary is
that at the
coming
end
in
of the
sleep.
month, something is
You
coming
get your
in.
money.
But freelancing, you might not
Freelancing
get a
is
gig for like 2 months, 3 months.
no stability. But when you get your money, you guide,
Um,
you'll be
That's why I
okay.
said,
So
can
which
I have
one?
both?
Oh, you want
Can I have both? Does
no,
that make
I
me
didn't even
greedy?
get your answer. So you have to choose one. Choose one.
Well, I like stability, so I'll go with stability.
9 to 5.
Nine
Okay,
to
so the
five
next
years.
okay, so pay your rent or stay with your parents.
Stay with my
So
stay
the
with
next one
my
is
parents.
splurge or save aggressively. Like, do you believe in just spending the money and another one will come, or you just used to save every penny because you're unsure of tomorrow?
Currently, I'm just learning to save because unsure of tomorrow. I'm usually the spender.
Oh,
I'm the spender. I spend without thinking, and then it's now finished.
okay. What
So
just
I'm
happened?
learning to save.
Yeah.
So
Are you
save
on
aggressively.
save aggressively? Are you on Twitter?
Yes, but I'm not active. I don't know how to use
Okay, so I'll change the question. So TikTok or Instagram?
Instagram.
Instagram. Okay. Me too. I don't like TikTok. I find it too complicated. So the last thing before we finally call it a day, I saw a dilemma on Reddit that kind of feels like it's something you would connect with. So I was like, let me just read it then. It's quite lengthy, but I'll just read the first two paragraphs. So the person says, I got a job offer, but the location is about 1 hour, 30 minutes from my away from my residence, and I'll be spending about 3K daily, 6 times in a week on transportation. Now I relaunched my cake business about 3 weeks ago, but I've not made a single sale, and I really need a source of income. I've been job hunting for over 3 months, and I've spent so much on going for various interviews with nothing forthcoming until this one. The biggest issue is that the salary being offered isn't sustainable, mainly because of my location. After my calculations, the transportation alone would take up to 70% of my income. And the person says, I've been battling depression and anxiety also, and I feel so stagnant. So, what would you advise the person to do? Would you advise them to take the job or leave the job and focus on their baking business? Although they've not gotten any customer yet, and they started 3 weeks ago.
The thing is, you don't have to love the job that you are doing currently. But you
Mm.
can use it to build yourself. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense, but how about the salary? Like spending 70% of your salary on transport.
Do you know that with this job, you can meet people that will patronize you at your cake?
Mm. That's true. That's true.
So if you are going and you let them know that, oh, I also bake, oh, they have birthdays now. Or they'll
Yeah.
probably have family or friends that they want to gift
Celebrate
a birthday
birthdays.
cake to
Mhm,
and stuff.
mhm.
Yes. It can even be like an office event that you tell them that I bake, oh, and they'll patronize you like that. Oh, you now you mean you choosing to stay at home, you already said that you are facing depression and anxiety. So staying at
Mm-hmm.
home is obviously not going to help. So why not go
Yeah.
out there? This job is not it, is not what you want, but through it you can get something
What
to,
you want.
either
Mm-hmm.
a better job, a platform for your business, your cake. Do you get?
Mm-hmm.
Once
Mm-hmm.
you start meeting people there, and then they know that you are, so you can even be earning on both ends. The salary, let the salary be for your transportation, then the
Mm-hmm.
income from the cake, when you are the once in a while that you get cake, you can be saving that till you are able to establish yourself.
Mm.
I feel like that's what
Wheezy,
I would
wheezy,
do.
wheezy, wheezy. Yeah, yeah, that's a
I
nice
feel
one
like that's what I
actually.
would do. That's what
Mm.
I would.
I mean, the 70%, you still have like 30% take home. It's not enough, but you just be more focused on building your business and your brand from
Building
that
yourself, yes.
opportunity and
You
building
can always
yourself.
start from somewhere. You can always start from
Yeah,
somewhere, no matter little. That's the most important thing. Start from somewhere. Don't wait for the big ones to come. Start from the
yeah.
little
Start
ones.
from somewhere. Don't wait around. I think this is a very, very important advice. I have people that probably, or we've seen people just wait around for like that very big break. You know, while you're waiting for
Yeah.
that one, just do
Do
something,
the
get
little
busy.
ones. Yes.
Yeah,
Don't
get
just be
busy, just do
idle.
something. It's hard, we know. It can be very, very difficult. Sometimes you just want to just stay in your corner. But yeah, I think part of adulting is just fighting that urge to just not do anything and just putting yourself
Yeah.
out there, doing the little you can do from your little or from your corner. So yeah, thank you so much for coming on the pod or being on the pod today. I've really I've enjoyed our conversation. It's been so nice and it's been so fun. And especially revisiting the Kanko incidents with the meat. Yeah. Like thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming. Do you have
Thank
like
you
any
for
last words you
having.
want to say on the pod? Yeah. Is there any like thing you want to say to like young graduates out there? You know, just something you wish you knew as a young graduate? Anything?
Have a something I
Mm,
wish I learned earlier, either
yeah.
creative, either vocational, anything.
Yeah.
Just because it's not very easy to get a job. It is easy for some people, it's not easy for everyone. But
Yeah.
having that skill, you still have something to keep you till you get something.
To
So
get
just
your
have it.
job. Yeah, thank you so much too. I learned a lot from like this conversation and it just made me see that maybe I'm not doing anything bad by not knowing what's up and just trying testing different waters and doing different things and telling myself that this is the next year is the year I put myself out there. So it's just nice to see that, you know, yes, we're going through adulting in different ways, but we kind of have similarities in the struggles, in the decisions
Yeah.
we're making, in the challenges we're facing. So it was really, really, really nice like chatting with you. Would you like to plug your cake business
Absolutely.
in, like your handle, so that in
Okay.
case anybody wants to do that?
My handle is underscore LA underscore TOZZI. Latozi
Okay,
cakes and more.
lactose.
Yeah.
Okay, now see you guys. I can vouch for her. Her cakes, delicious, very nice. All right, see.
Thank you
All
so
right, thank
much. Thank
you.
you so much
Thank
for
you.
having me.
No,
It
you
was really
thank
an
you.
honor.
Oh, thank you.